Hey, Rob Drummond here at Maze Mastery. Just thought I'd show you something I'm working on. So for a long time I've been working on documenting my pay-per-click systems. This becomes really important when you start running ads, especially retargeting ads across multiple ad networks. You really need to keep track of what ads are running, what landing pages you're using, what creative you're using in the ads, what email sequences people get when they opt in. And without this documentation, it quickly becomes chaotic, quite frankly. So previous to this, I've always used spreadsheets, and spreadsheets have their limitations really. It takes a lot of time to create it and update it. It's not easy to see at a glance what's really going on. Visually you can't see what ads are running. Facebook ads are quite visual. So I've been using, was introduced to something called Airtable recently, which is like a mixture of, I guess I'd describe it as a mixture of Excel and Access. So it's kind of Excel, but it's really a database. So just let me talk you through this. What I've done is I've started off with segments. So I should say actually that this is a working document. So I'm basically working on this for my own ads first, and then what I'm going to do is make a template of this available to our Maze Insider subscribers. But what I've done is I've mapped out the segments that I might want to advertise to. So these are retargeting segments. These are people who've done certain things, visited certain pages on the website, engaged with certain videos on social media. So the main ones that we're using at the moment are people who have either watched one of our videos recently or people who've been on the website recently. And the main segments that I've got are, people who've been on the website in the last 7 days, and then people who've been on the website between 8 and 30 days. And then the same for people who've recently watched one of our videos on Facebook. What I can then see on this view here is I can see what Facebook campaigns are using what segments, or what segments are seeing ads across which networks. So this visibly at a glance tells me what is running across what networks to which people. What I've then done is on the Google campaigns, each of these tabs here indicates is kind of like a campaign level overview for each network. So I then want to see, okay, so what Google campaigns do I have running? So I've currently got a cold traffic campaign running and a remarketing campaign running. What's the objective and the network? So these are drop downs that you specify. I then listed the ad groups that are running in the campaign. So actually this just opens up a list basically. Then what I've done is I've said, okay, so if this is, or especially if this is a remarketing campaign, what segments are we advertising to here? So this is people who've been on the website in the last 7 days and in the last 8 to 30 days. Then what I've done here is I've said, okay, so what ads are we running? In my Google Ads campaign, something I do is I test ads across multiple ad groups. And actually, compared to if this was just displayed in a spreadsheet, what I can do in Airtable is I can see, okay, so we're running ad 1 and ad 2. So these are labels that I apply to the ads. What does ad 1 actually look like? I can click into that ad 1. And what I've done here is I've taken a screenshot of the ad. I've also listed what the landing page of the ad is, what the checkout page is if it's going to an e-commerce page, and what the thank you page is after that. And also if there is an upsell after the thank you page. I'll show you the ads in more detail in a moment. So that's kind of the campaign screen. If I just go to the Facebook tab, this is a little bit different. Because ad sets are more important really in Facebook, I've moved ad sets over to the initial column here. But again, I can see, what segments we're targeting. If it's a cold campaign, what is the cold targeting settings, and what ads are running. So if I come into here, I can see that I've got an ad running. I can see the main ad text. I can see a screenshot of the ad. I can see the landing page of the ad, the checkout page, the thank you page. All of this becomes really important later on when you're trying to figure out what work you did, say 3 months ago. I can see what CRM tags are applied when someone buys the book, which is the call to action. If this is a historic ad that I've since paused, I can record the click-through rate, the conversion rate, the number of conversions, any notes on the ad. So it starts to build up like a knowledge base, if you like, of things that you've tested, ideas that you've tried, without kind of scrabbling about, because it's all in a central place. If I go over to my Facebook ads tab, I can see, so this is where all of my ads live. So you can see here that this is where I set the checkout page, the thank you page. I upload the screenshots into this table here. But yeah, so the next steps for me is I'm going to link out not only what CRM tags are applied when people complete certain actions, when they buy certain things, or when they submit certain forms. I'm then going to indicate what email sequences are kickstarted by each tag being applied. So this table is currently empty, but what the email sequences table will do is indicate what emails are in the sequence and what delays exist in that sequence. So then it becomes very easy to see. So, if I want to figure out what tags are being applied or what tags are supposed to be applied when certain things happen, I can come into this. And the important thing about this is it exists outside of the tool. This is a planning document, so that even if I change email system down the line, this is the working document that I would use to kind of say, okay, when this happens, this is the outcome that I want to trigger. And this has to exist outside of the tool, basically. So I just thought I'd share this with you, hopefully inspire you to go and, I guess, really use the time at the moment to start documenting your campaigns. Start documenting your campaigns, both on the lead generation side if you're running ads, and on the email marketing side. Once people have opted in, or once people have, entered your world in some capacity. Build a document, because this document, what it's going to allow you to do is, firstly, it'll save your sanity by reminding you what you've done, but also it means it's much easier to outsource specific parts of this, because you can then hire specialists in these particular areas and understand exactly what everyone is doing, while still having a holistic overview of how everything is meant to piece together. So, I'll be talking about this more in our next Base Insider members webinar, which is coming up at the end of April. So keep an eye on your email for details about that. I hope you're staying well, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.